What's up, gents? Long time no see. I know I've been posting really sporadically, and that's because I've been moving across the country. I just moved to a new house. We're getting everything set up. And, while that's been happening, I've just slipped my finger open and stepped on a nail while taking apart the old chicken coop, but it is what it is. But I'm getting into this new house. I'm super excited. Sorry my old stuff has been coming sporadically. I'm going to work on that, but I've been having a lot going on. But what this does mean is I'm getting a little bit more of my studio setup, which I haven't been able to do in a really long time. I'm excited about the new look and feel, and the show is going to be taking a little bit of a new direction. All of the content that was once there, video games, try not to laugh, builds, things like that, is going to be added in more so into the advice giving portion of the show. So they're still going to exist. I want the show to be both informative and a place where people can come, kick their shoes off, feel welcome and relax rather than just feel like they're being preached at. So that content needs to be a part of it, but it seems to be less popular. People seem to not be enjoying it as much. And I feel like, unfortunately, it becomes like 2/3 of the show instead of like a quarter of the show. And the real reason why I'm doing this channel as I am for young men and men in general is that I feel like a lot of the content on YouTube is not great for men. And so I'm gonna leave my what's happening with the channel stuff to the end and get right into my thoughts on MGTOW. This is gonna be a little bit of a series, unfortunately. I want most of my content to be here's how to be a good man and how to live a good life. But occasionally it's going to turn into what are the charlatans selling you and what are the bad things people are teaching you about manhood. And I think it's important to say that when you're looking at any of these separate areas, whether it's MGTOW, whether you're talking about sort of alpha YouTube, alpha TikTok kind of a thing, where it's just get money, get the cars, that kind of stuff, or simp type stuff, OnlyFans type stuff, which I actually find less egregious than the first two, but I'll get into all those on a different episode. They all have their kernels of truth, right? So it's important to sort of validate why people might be feeling those ways. When you take truth and you put it into a dark corner, it makes it more appealing because people aren't talking about the legit problems that are there. And so people are more likely, with the example of MGTOW, because I'm not going to talk about the other two for right now. When you're talking about MGTOW, people say I find that women either telling me I'm toxic all the time, or they don't respect me, or, the legal system says that I have to give up half of my stuff, or I can't have, I can't get the kids in the divorce, whatever that word is that's not coming to mind right now. Those are all, sometimes it's overblown. People feeling slighted in those situations because divorce is a crappy situation, and people are going to get burned. It's the best situation, I think we should agree, is having a happy, functioning marriage where you keep all your stuff together, including the kids. And anything short of that does suck, and so a perfect 50-50 split is going to be really, really difficult. So let's start there. Let's also say that when it comes to respect and toxicity, again, there are elements on both sides of that are true. You definitely don't want to feel like everything you're doing is being perceived as being toxic, but there are a lot of people out there who don't know how to say aggression is a good thing. Being able to be aggressive in the right situation when it's I'm going to go under this month and I need to put in 80 hours of work a week or work 2 jobs or whatever, or someone broke into the house, I need to be aggressive. Those are important skills, but not knowing how to temper that the rest of the time makes you a toxic person. And there's toxic masculinity, there's toxic femininity. Apparently those are difficult words for me to say. And it's important to recognize all those things. So what people have a bad time doing in general is focusing on their set of problems, which are legit problems, and acting like those are the only problems in the world, and then blowing them out of proportion. So in the case of MGTOW, it's those things suck, but there are a lot of different groups that have been slighted over time. Have patience that throughout history, the pendulum swings both ways. So I have my list down here that I'm trying to organize my thoughts on this. There are legit grievances in any one of these movements, and that's what makes them so appealing, but we should talk about them openly so that the end conclusion is not hey, men or women. I'm going to bleep those words out, all of them, because I want this to be an approachable channel. You don't want that to be the situation, right? That you don't want that to be how anyone goes, because really, I think the ideal is, the good life is having a partner who you love and trust and can build a wonderful life with. And hopefully that like radiates out from you. You can build a good community, city, state, country, world. Know that that's where I'm coming from. I think that is the ideal state. I'm making a moral claim there that that is a good thing. So when I'm saying like, I don't like MGTOW or this like alpha thing where you're trying to get like 12 women a week kind of a thing, I think that is a shallow understanding of what the good life is. I don't think it's eating a candy bar when you're hungry may satisfy you temporarily, but it does nothing good for your body. It does nothing good for your overall health. So you may think you want that, but you don't. It's not good for anyone to permanently do that. And that's more or less my complaints with all three of these, is they're unhealthy takeaways from legitimate problems that only address part of the issue. Sorry, my dog's being loud. So first step of this is to understand, yes, there are some legitimate grievances there. This means you need to find the ideal partner. Divorce and respect are not a problem. You're pointing out like cultural problems, and cultural problems don't extend to your situation if you don't put yourself in that situation in the first place. So that's what they're saying, like, I'll just not do women at all and just ignore that situation. No, like you need to find a good partner, and acting like there aren't good partners out there is foolish. I mean, if you're only looking on Tinder and Bumble and at your school and you haven't had any success there, some people do, by the way, all great things for them. If you're fishing from a pond and not getting what you want, move to a different pond is what I'm saying. And I say it like every time I talk about how to meet women. If you like animals, go volunteer at a pet shelter. If you're a young professional, go to a young professionals meeting. If you are religious, church is an awesome place, because I mean, the thing about church, I'm not religious, but the cool thing about church is that you can, you just like self-selected a whole group. Apparently my monitors just went out there. You self-select a whole group that's like, more or less, we believe the same things and have similar values, which is just like a cheat sheet on life. So anywhere you can go, if you're not religious, that has sort of an understanding of a shared system of beliefs is an excellent place to start. It really helps you cut in line a whole bunch. Until you do that, you should be asking yourself some other questions. Like let's say being a father and husband is 30 or 40% of your life. There's a bunch of other things you can be good at. And maybe you're not able to attract a good mate right now, or maybe you just want to be the best person you can be outside of that. So you can work on the other 60 or 70% of your life. You can work on your career, work on your health, work on your body. Get a house, learn how to do a trade or make things with your hands or grow food or whatever. Be a better person, develop meaningful skills that enrich you and enrich the people around you, and it'll help you attract better people, but it also makes sure that you're happier if that never happens in the first place. I'm not suggesting legitimate MGTOW here. I'm saying be happy on your own, but understand that you are only ever going to be able to fill your cup partway full. There's some truth to it, that you can make yourself more happy on your own, but you can never fill it that extra little bit. And you need to be realistic about that and know that your life will always have a little bit less in it. So be happy 70% of your life. I had this professor in college who was kind of talking about how suicide is a thing that people had dealt with. And, for young adults, this is a reasonable thing to talk about. And he said, like, I have 7 identities. I'm your teacher. I am a scholar. I'm a coach. I'm a parent. I'm a husband. I volunteer at X, Y, and Z. And if anyone, like if I got fired from my job, I still have 6 other things that are a meaningful part of me. If one of my kids died, I have 6 other things that are still a reasonable part of me. And because you've like diversified this, like in investing, you say like, I don't want to invest in one company because if that goes under, I'm screwed. You invest in a bunch of different places. So if one goes under, you're fine. If you have more than one identity, more than one place that you get your value from, you're more stable and you can handle bad things that happen to you. So I mean, if you're not a husband or a father or, fiance or boyfriend or whatever, yeah, you're leaving off one of those, but there's another 4 or 5 identities you can be improving on your own without having to deal with the fact that you're falling short in those two. So be good in those areas, be happy on your own, and know that you can be even happier when you add the right thing in later. The next thing is, again, pick the right person. The first time, you don't have to worry about all of the divorce stuff or respect stuff if you find the right partner. I know I said that before, but that was number 3 on my list instead of number 2. So, I'm coming back around to it. Finally, it's that MGTOW is a poisonous idea. The good life is only achieved from a balance of masculinity and femininity. Everything in life is better when balanced. This is like a very Aristotelian idea. It's Aristotle. It basically says there's total aggression and there's total compassion, and somewhere in between is the good balance. There's being frugal with your money, and there's being giving and generous, and somewhere in between is giving in the right way, in the right time, to the right person, for the right reason, and that's always the good way. And the same thing goes from more or less masculine and feminine energies. And I'm not saying either gender or sex has a complete monopoly on those things. What I am saying is that they absolutely must be balanced, not just in your own life, but which is why you have the yin yang symbol that has a little bit of each color in each side of the balance. You must be balanced in some way. You must find someone who balances you out, and that's for your own, nuclear family. And that's also, community and socially and, the whole shebang. You should not be tilting one way or the other as a society. You should have some sort of balance and understanding of being aggressive and being tempered, being frugal but being generous. These are important distinctions to make. And the same thing happens in your life and socially when it comes to masculine and feminine. Don't leave one of them out. Don't become aggressive to the point where you don't know when it's good to sit down, hug someone, pat them on the back. Don't become rigidly tough to the point where you lose a kid, or you lose an important person in your family, or you see someone really succeed or something like that and you can't show emotion. You should be able to connect with people, and whether we're calling that feminine energies or not, you need to be balanced. Don't be overly generous and forgiving to the point where people take advantage of you. But I've had people cheat on me before. Some credence to the MGTOW thing. I say some people, I mean one person, because it should don't set yourself up in a situation where it happens to you again. And I've had scam artists basically take money from my family. I'm going to be pretty vague about this, but both times that happened, I was really young when I was cheated on. I was 16, and it took me a while to kind of recover from that emotionally. And I can probably talk about that another day. Maybe even tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it right after this, and I'll do a separate video on how to deal with being cheated on. Where was I? Oh, I eventually came out of both those situations, and I thought, I don't want this to corrupt me. I don't want to lose the ability to trust people and to form meaningful attachments to people. And yeah, you become a little bit more cautious, but it doesn't have to swing you completely the other direction. The pendulum wants to swing, but you want to be here. Yeah, it sucks that right now it went here. It was here before. Calm it down. Stop. It's not good. I agree. Here's good. Here's where it is. The pendulum keeps swinging. Try to be a rock of stability in a sea and a world of chaos. Pursue the good life. Try to be a light to the people around you, and that's the best advice I can give to you. And if people are telling you to get rid of one of your 7 identities, maybe you should just ignore them and ask, do those people seem happy? Do they seem like they're putting stuff online and trying to really blow up their ego because they're not happy by themselves? And if so, what's going wrong in their life? What decisions have led them to this point? And I might get some MGTOW people who kind of agree with me and kind of disagree with me. I would imagine some people are going to be like hard and fast on their thing. Some people are going to say like, I agree with you, that is better, but that's not the world we live in. Again, it's like saying that you haven't met 99% of the women out there. At best, you've met like 1% of them. And maybe that's a representative sample for like 60% of them. There's no way it's all 100%. If you're awake to this, know that there's another 40% of women who are not going to do this. Go be happy. Go find someone who makes your life meaningful and you can start a meaningful life with. Don't listen to the naysayers who tell you to accept an 80%, 70% life without women in your life. It's not worth it. And that's the end of that. Thank you so much. The channel is going to be doing a little bit of everything. It's going to start becoming all one thing, where I'm going to do a little bit of art. I'm going to build something like art for my wall, or I'm going to, what is the other thing I had planned? I'm going to do like some lightsaber builds and that kind of stuff. I'm going to 3D print cool stuff and make all sorts of stuff like that. Might do video games at the end of the thing. I already talked about this earlier. So know that that's coming. Not right now, because unfortunately I'm still dealing with a move-in, but I'll be doing that very shortly. I just want to get some more advice stuff out, but no, we're going to add the fun stuff back in very shortly. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll oh my God. And we'll see you next time. Thank you, gents. Have a great day.
Went to the store the other day. The woman in front of me couldn't pay. I didn't have much, but I dropped a couple bucks. I try to change the world, there's gotta be a way. I got big dreams, doing what I can. Gonna build something big and watch it stand up for the little guy. Give it another try. Try to change the world, gotta be a better man.